Jim, we have some news from PWInsiderElite.com. AEW files trademarks for All Elite Women series and more. AEW has filed a trademark for the term All Elite Women on August 1st, PW Insider has confirmed. The trademark is listed for a number of realms, including, most interestingly, these two. And these are the ones here that talk about various merchandise, dolls, and of course, apparently a show. While not confirmed, it would appear the trademark is the first sign of a new wrestling series for AEW, this one focusing on the company's women stars. If so, it would join Dynamite, Rampage, Dark, and Dark Elevation as the 5th weekly outing from the promotion. One would think... Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, okay, if it's just going to be on YouTube, then that's fine. They can do whatever they want. But if they're insane, if they get another hour of television on a television outlet, cable, broadcast, whatever, and they're insane to begin with if they want another hour on anything, as long as Rampage is the throwaway show that it has become. And they're doing another Battle of the Belts this weekend, and that thing's become a throwaway with not even as big a marquee matches as you see on regular Wednesday night television. I think Claudio's wrestling Take a Shit for the Ring of Honor title on the Battle of the Belts this weekend, which, all due respect to everybody involved, but remember when Ric Flair won the NWA World title and he had a big defense at the Clash of Champions against downtown Denny Brown? What the fuck? So, and Ring of Honor still doesn't have a television program. So again, his ADD and his I get whatever I want has started to run amok with him, because now he's jumping ahead of promotions he has already bought and hasn't even established to trademark titles for new programs that he hasn't started fucking running yet and shouldn't, because they're less appealing than what he's already got going that he hadn't finished. Does that all make sense?
It does. Now, we don't know what this will be. If he's going to just tape another hour at whatever studio they, I think it's Universal that they do those YouTube shows, they can do another hour and make it just about the women. I think that's a good thing. I think there needs to be a concerted show for just the women and try to do it right and try to actually develop someone.
And I think
off TV on YouTube.
Following that, let's bring back the midgets and have an all midget show, and then let's bring back the wrestling bears.
Oh, come on.
And have bear wrestling.
If he had a roster filled with them, that'd be one thing, but he has all these women signed. They got to do something.
Hey, all the women he's got signed are about as good of workers as most of the bears I've seen. Not quite. Gentleman Ben, now, he was better than most. And then we just do a 30-minute program with the matches with the wrestling bears then.
Well, I think you're being a little silly here, but let me ask you this. You heard me say to you the other day, I said, did you watch Rampage? You said no. And I said, I can't believe anyone would book this show thinking someone's going to want to see this. Rampage, Friday night, regular time slot, record low number, 375,000 viewers.
And I mean, we've talked about that one again. They could make it look, right now it's an hour version of their 2-hour Wednesday night program with less name talent. And they could change that. They could change the look. At this point, would it hurt if they did a magazine show with updates on all the things going on in AEW and a match or two, and try to sell some things coming up? You know, play with the format. Take a chance on something. It's not going to hurt the viewers any more than what you're doing right now is. They've gone from over 1 million on the debut to less than 400,000 because nobody gives a shit, and it's a throwaway program, and it's taped a lot of times in front of a dead crowd after the real show. And now this week, I guess, is going to be live because they've got to tape the Battle of the Belts thing. The battle Saturday night at 8 o'clock. It may not be prime television time anymore, but it did okay for Jackie Gleason and All in the Family. And it's still 8 o'clock in prime time on a weeknight on a cable network with full cable coverage in all the systems and 100 and whatever million homes. And you're just going to give them Claudio versus Take a Shit out of the blue because you've got to fill that time. I know they gave you the shows as a makeup for kicking you off the fucking network when they switched and got the hockey. But make this something. There's only 4 of them a year. It's only an hour. Build a match. Just a match that you're going to have on that show. You got 3 months for the next one. And when you decide what that match is going to be, then build it on your other programs. Build the interest amongst 2 guys or 4 guys. Build the reason they have a conflict. Shoot a fucking angle and then announce the match and plug it for 2 or 3 weeks on this big special. And then your hour special is welcoming everybody, having an opening match where you establish the temperature of the room, go to the fucking videotape of the history of these competitors' journey to this night from the start of their hostilities, get comments from both of them, and have the fucking match. Make it top guys that can go and produce with a finish that makes people want to see a little more of them. There you go. There's an hour special that would be different from other programming you're doing. Or Claudio versus Take a Shit. Your choice.
I'm sure it'll be a fine match, but I'm sure it's also a match that's not going to cause too many people to want to tune in on a Saturday night at 8 o'clock. It's one thing when you had Saturday Night Wrestling regularly airing, and it wasn't at 8 o'clock, it was at 6:05 on the East Coast, but it was regular. You trained yourself to see it. A show just popping up randomly at 8 o'clock on a Saturday night with matches no one cares about. What kind of number is that going to pull?
Well, and that's why, again, the Clash of Champions was a big, this is supposed to be patterned after that. It was a big event with a major card, and it was promoted on the regular TV shows for several weeks out. That's why they did bigger ratings and got more attention on the product. That was what that was designed for. This was the networks giving these guys 4 hours a year on fucking in prime time because they jacked them around on the deal they'd signed when they moved their network, and the promotion, instead of using it to be a destination for people to see one exciting thing that will have a major impact on the world of AEW, it's the Rampage 1 day later show. Bleh. On tape.